that moment like while you were, the ball was hanging up there for a while and you obviously have been waiting a while to get an interception? Were you thinking about is that it?
I was just thinking about how Odell came and hit me, how I'm going to have to pay him back next time I see him. I've been waiting a long time to hit him, so hopefully I can catch him.
That's Jimmie Ward. He did get popped last night by Odell Beckham Jr., and I don't agree with this notion that Odell Beckham Jr. quit on the route. I just think there was a miscommunication. It was a throw to a spot where he just wasn't. Stuff happens when you're trying to get a new guy up to speed. Suffice to say, though, no Rams are making the award list for this week. Let's get right to it. Offensive Player of the Week. We welcome in MDS, and as always, MDS, you're up first.
Well, I'm going with Patrick Mahomes, who had been going through the worst stretch of play in his NFL career until Sunday night when he had 406 yards and 5 touchdowns and emphatically batted away any talk that something was really wrong with him. And I just think it has to be a huge sigh of relief to Chiefs fans to see him play like that after he played so poorly, and really the whole team had played so poorly in a number of games this season. I don't think there's any question that the Chiefs remain the favorites to win the AFC West. Mahomes is not going to win another MVP this season, but I still think he's the most talented quarterback in football, and I still think that he may be the quarterback the defenses would least want to face once the playoffs start. So for all of the chatter about the Chiefs, and a lot of it was deserved, I think they're actually in pretty good shape going forward.
MDS, one of the guys we perhaps forget about a little bit is Deebo Samuel, and you didn't forget about him last night, although maybe the Rams forgot about him a little bit. Caught 5 passes for 97 yards and a touchdown, 5 carries for 36 yards and a touchdown, accounted for 133 yards. I thought he was outstanding. 58 yards after the catch, which is really, really good. He's averaging 115.2 yards from scrimmage. That's 3rd in the NFL. He was a big reason that 49ers won that game, and he'll be a big reason, Mike, that the 49ers can get back in this thing going forward if he can continue to do some of those things and stay healthy.
He really is incredible, and he doesn't get the national attention that he should, in part because the team is not high level. If they were having a season like they had in 2019, I think he'd get a lot more notoriety. Games like last night will enhance his standing, but he is a guy that should be appreciated more. Justin Jefferson, a guy in Minnesota that the Vikings clearly appreciate. He had a few down weeks, but he had that big performance, 9 catches, 100-plus yards against the L.A. Chargers, and it was a spark that the offense needed. And the Vikings are in a position where, as I said yesterday jokingly, although seriously too, they still have a chance to go 9-8, maybe 10-7, get in the playoffs and lose in the wild card round and do it all again next year. And Justin Jefferson, a guy that you got to get him the football because he's getting deeper into his career. I know it's only his 2nd season, but what they had go on with Stephon Diggs, you better keep this guy happy and build around him over the long haul because he's the real deal. He's only the 2nd receiver in the Super Bowl era to have 10 or more 100-yard receiving games in his first 25. Odell Beckham Jr. is first with 15 such games, and also Jefferson is 2nd in the Super Bowl era in the total receiving yards in the first 25 games of his career. He surpassed Victor Cruz, and again, Odell Beckham Jr. is in first place. So they need to keep him happy in Minnesota, and they need to make him a big part of the offense. Defensive Player of the Week time. MDS, you're up.
Well, we just saw him a moment ago. 49ers safety Jimmie Ward had a huge game Monday night. He intercepted the deep ball that Matthew Stafford intended for Odell Beckham, and then on the very next possession, he had the pick 6 on a weird bobbled pass that goes right into his hands, as you can see, and he runs it back into the end zone. I didn't realize Jimmie Ward only had 2 interceptions in his entire career. He's in his 8th season with the 49ers, only had 2 in his career before Monday night, and then he had 2 in the first quarter Monday night. Those 2 interceptions set the tone for the 49ers.
MDS, I had Jeffrey Simmons last week. I have Jeffrey Simmons this week. I think he's joined Aaron Donald as one of the top defensive tackles in football, especially the way he's played the last 2 weeks. 5 sacks the last 2 weeks. He had 2 more against the Saints, 4 tackles, 2 quarterback hits, a pass breakup. He was really outstanding. This is a team that only had 19 sacks last season. They were terrible getting to the quarterback. They get to the quarterback this year, and that's really been a difference for this Titans team. As you wrote, MDS, 7-0 against playoff teams from last season. We can ignore that loss to the Jets, I guess, but they've been really good against the best teams and probably have the best resume so far, Mike, of any team that we've talked about.
For me, the New England Patriots are a team to watch. They're going to be very dangerous if they get to the playoffs. With each passing week, it's looking more and more likely that they're going to get to the playoffs. Kyle Duggar, second season. Great job so far for him, leading the team in tackles. He had the interception of Baker Mayfield that really helped break open a game that was 7-7. And when you see a final score like 45-7, you think it was 31-0, and then there was a touchdown sometime in garbage time. No, the Browns were up 7-0. They went right down the field to start the game. Then the Patriots score. Duggar makes this interception, returns it to the 5. Ramondre Stevenson scores a couple of plays later, if not on the very next play, and that was that. And off to the races went the New England Patriots. So more and more of these Patriots. Well, look at that hit, too, on that game. Jeez. But great player, and the Patriots becoming a great team, and a team that I think is going to be hanging around deep into January. And maybe, just maybe, we're going to see them in L.A. in February. All right, Rookie of the Week time. MDS, who do you have?
Well, it's starting to get a little boring to keep naming Patriots quarterback Mac Jones as the Rookie of the Week, but I really felt like I had to after the way he played in that win over the Browns. He completed 83% of his passes on Sunday. He's now completed 69% of his passes this season, which puts him on pace to break the NFL's rookie completion percentage record, which Dak Prescott set 5 years ago. Jones is doing everything Bill Belichick wanted when he decided to go with the rookie quarterback instead of Cam Newton. He didn't need Mac Jones to be making spectacular plays all the time, but he did need him to be consistent. That's what Mac Jones has been.
Probably a two-man race for that offensive Rookie of the Year race, MDS, with obviously Jamar Chase. I think the defensive Rookie of the Year, barring injury, is already wrapped up. That's Micah Parsons. He's won this award from us several times this year. The Cowboys were missing both of their edge rushers after Randy Gregory got hurt in practice. DeMarcus Lawrence still out. It didn't matter. Micah Parsons is just playing at an elite level already. 6 tackles, a sack, a forced fumble, playing all over the field. He does whatever they ask him to do, and he does it very, very well, Mike. He was a great pick for the Cowboys in the first round last spring.
He has been awesome from the first time we saw him in the Hall of Fame game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he only gets better and better. However, Dolphins safety Javon Holland, last Thursday night, he was everywhere. And the table is set for the Dolphins to make a little bit of a run here. If they can win some games that maybe they have a reasonable chance of winning, they can get to 7-7 going into the final 3 weeks of the season. Who knows what will happen if we get to that point. But Holland was spectacular. Just, it seemed like he was in on everything that happened. And whether it's blitzing Lamar Jackson, he made a play on a ball to break up a pass. He just was everywhere. You saw that number 8 flashing everywhere for the Dolphins on a night when we expected to see number 8 for the Ravens, being the one who was doing everything on the night. All right, Coach of the Week time, MDS, you're up.
You know, NFL coaches always tell you that they don't listen to the outside noise, but I can't help but think Eagles coach Nick Sirianni was listening to a little bit of the criticism that he was putting too much on his young quarterback, Jalen Hurts, early in the season, because recently that offense has changed a little bit to take a little less, put a little less on Hurts's plate. And on Sunday, both running backs, Jordan Howard and Boston Scott, both topped 80 rushing yards in that win over the Broncos. I really like how that offense looks right now, and I wouldn't be surprised after the bumpy start in Nick Sirianni's first season if the Eagles make a playoff push down the stretch.
Speaking of bumpy starts, the Chiefs were in last place in their division, started out 3-4. Not used to seeing that, but they've turned it around. Kudos to Andy Reid for what he's done with this team. They have their swagger back 3 in a row now. Giants, Packers, Raiders, Cowboys coming to town on Sunday. Should be a great game between the Cowboys and Chiefs. I really think, Mike, that this Chiefs team, as MDS said earlier, it's not going to be a team or a quarterback you're going to want to play in the postseason.
Kyle Shanahan got a lot of criticism last week, and it was well-deserved after losing to Colt McCoy and the Cardinals at home. They had 8 straight losses at home. He continued his mastery, though, of the Rams and Coach Sean McVay on Monday night. I got to give him credit. He had a game plan that was the perfect formula for taking the steam out of the all-sizzle L.A. Rams, controlling the clock, keeping the offense on the sideline, and just bludgeoning them systematically and getting the victory. And the NFC, MDS, we said this earlier in the show, everybody except the Lions is very much alive. And now the 49ers right back in the mix and have a chance at getting one of the wild card berths. All right, that's it for the awards coming out of Week 10. We say goodbye to MDS. Thanks, as always, for your contribution.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.